Uh, I think you're on mute.
Workday starting to sound the same?
I think you're on mute.
Find something that sounds better for your career on LinkedIn. With LinkedIn Job Collections, you can browse curated collections by relevant industries and benefits, like flex PTO or hybrid workplaces, so you can find the right job for you. Get started at linkedin.com/jobs. Finding where you fit. LinkedIn knows how.
Oh my, oh my. It is time. It is the finals. It's all been leading up to this. We're recording this in March. When it comes out, after March. How about that? It's big time here, John. It's the R.E.M Championship Edition finals. Talk to me about, the whole thing so far. Like, how do you feel like getting to the finals here? How do you feel like that's gone?
Yeah. It didn't go how I thought. I think like we've got a good like diverse group of fans, like everybody here. And you guys are like you guys see them and listen to them differently than I do. So with the other two that we did, Pearl Jam and Radiohead, I think I had a better grasp on who I was dealing with. So I was able to kind of like gauge that a little better. But this one has been like all over the place. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Like we've gotten like a little bit of everyone's like strengths and like everyone's take on like what they like and why they like love this band. And like this one's been tougher, I think, than the other two championship editions for me. Like like there's just more music. They were more consistent from top to bottom. Like making each individual list of the four that we did was pretty easy because like I said, you could break it up and like you had these distinct like eras of their career. But when you put that all together, you see just kind of how strong it all is together. And I still don't feel great about the 15 that I have. I know there's more than 15 classic REM songs that I love, and like it was a little bit surprising. I think there were some definitely that if I had looked at it on paper at the beginning, I would be like, oh, that's a shoe-in, and some of those songs didn't make it.
What do you think, Peter? I mean, when you look at this 40 and you think back to how we got to this 40, do you feel like it played out how you thought, or are we looking at a very different list than you thought?
Definitely a very different list than I thought. Like just to echo, like there was a bunch of songs that I thought were just shoo-ins that just kind of just got tossed aside.
Yeah.
And then there were songs that got in and I was like, really? That one? All right. I'm not mad about it, but all right. But cutting that 40 down to 15 was painful. I do not feel fine. Uh, um, especially in the 40, like there were at least a handful of songs where like I was kind of the odd one out, and I was just kind of like, well, I'll allow it, whatever. I don't want to fight. But still, cutting this down to 15 was painful because I mean they have, I mean at least more than 40 great songs. Like it was just tough. It was tougher than Radiohead.
Gavin, this is your first championship edition. I mean, you had no problem being the wrench, a lot of times of what people thought were the shoo-ins. Like, first of all, I guess I would ask, you were very diplomatic about it. I feel like you had your reasons. Do you feel still strongly about, getting in the way of those songs? And then when you look at the 40 that came in, do you still feel that way?
Yeah, I think, well, for one thing, I've had a blast. Thank you for having me. This has been super fun, even though, it's painful. I think I tried to balance that by really being a compromiser too, like I didn't like die on any hill really or anything. I think, like kind of like we've talked about, and John was talking about with the length of their career, and all the guys on the panel have talked about their uh their their affection for a certain album and an album that they kind of came in on, you know?
Hmm.
And like, um, I'm old, Like I was like listening to REM in 84. I saw them in 85, 86, 87. Like when you're young and music gets you in the heart, And so I can't apologize for being on Team IRS,
Hmm.
Like the IRS years is like my REM. And I think that I'm not alone in. I think there's a large segment of REM fans who really revere that period for them. Um, and so I don't apologize for it, but I do feel I've felt the pain of people on the panel, like loving songs that just weren't my songs.
Hmm.
Uh, I think that like I think that the tendency may be to just kind of double down and fall back into your albums right now and like walk away with an unsatisfying compromise. Like I hope that we just don't wind up with the greatest hits, like it was like the greatest hits album. But we'll see how it goes.
Now, Chris, I know you've basically lost your voice, so keep this as succinct as you need to. But like speaking to Gavin's point on pain, you very vocally, very disturbed by one of your songs not getting in. Now we're here at the 40. Like, are you looking at it as, yeah, my song maybe didn't stand a chance, or does that change like your gameplay at all going here into the finals?
No, I mean, everyone seemed to have a hard time with this final one, and for me, this was the easiest one. I didn't listen to the whole thing. I went through. I picked out the songs where I'm like, these are my tops. Yeah, these are all my tops. Yeah, I made a couple changes here and there, but I didn't anguish over it. I had my anguish already. I didn't want any more
Yeah.
during this thing, so I was just like, you know what? I'm going to pick out these 15 songs that I really, really love, that I really think, and it might end up as sort of a greatest hits list. I don't know, but there might be a couple on here that people will disagree with. I didn't have a hard time. I'm curious, Gavin, how old are you? Because I always feel like I'm the oldest guy on the panel, unless I'm with Fredo.
I'm 55.
Oh shit, you got me beat. Okay, all right. All right, that's good to know. That's good to know because I always feel like I'm the old man, so it's good
Well,
to know that I'm only the second oldest man.
yeah, and I'm probably the most immature. So
I'm pushing 54. So
there you go.
So, Bryan, now we're here. You've been through the brutality of, the pre-rounds. You're here at the finals. I mean, are you still glad you signed up? Like, I mean, is it what you thought it was going to be? And when you're looking at this 40, like how are you plucking out your 15 for this?
No, this was way more difficult than I thought it would be. It was brutal. Like I said, I could have made a case for so many of these songs. And when so first of all, I don't know, spoiler, whatever, there were many times during the other episodes where I made concessions,
Mhm.
and I put a vote in for a song that I hadn't picked. That is not reflected on my list. Basically any song all the songs that are on my list have been on my other lists.
Nice.
Nothing that I conceded to made it. So
Mm.
I started with that, and I'm just like, you know what? Was I convinced that some of these songs were better than the ones that I picked or whatever? I was like, nah, I wasn't. Uh, so yeah, so I and yeah, and um well, like John said about, we're all coming in with different points of view and different different ways of seeing it, and like Gavin said, we have two older Generation X and three younger Generation X people here, borderline like like the next generation, where they were coming into R.E.M. in 84 or 85, like, we were only, 4, 5, 6 years old.
Mhm.
So we were coming in like in the 90s.
Yeah.
So it's that's the balance I did try to work with, because we are very I can't even think of the word. We are very ridiculously speaking here for all R.E.M. fans. And because we're 5 guys who are in their demographic. We are 5 white men in our mid 40s to mid 50s, and that's the demographic R.E.M. fan, and we're gonna speak for all of them.
We're highly qualified.
What's that?
We're highly qualified.
Yeah.
Yeah. We are highly qualified. I mean,
Most
you go
definitely.
I'm pretty sure they don't tour anymore, but you go to an R.E.M. show right now, you're gonna see 5,000 people who look just like us.
All right. I mean, there's no need to beat around the bush here, like, and go around the table again, because we might as well get to the bloodshed, I feel. John, where do you want to start?
I've thought about this all day, and like I've thought about some of the first round episodes. It was like, oh, I'm gonna kind of go pick one to kind of gauge and see. Let me pick like a little out of left field one to see where everybody's at. But I think for this one, I can't deal with throwing out something like a top one on my list and having it not go through right away. That would just I just can't. So I'm gonna start at the very beginning chronologically, and let's just do Radio Free Europe. I tried this one was not high on my list originally, and I had thought about removing it for another song, but in the end I couldn't do it. So Radio Free Europe.
All right, Peter?
Yeah, I've got it.
Gavin?
Yes.
Chris?
Indeed.
And Brian?
I do. Let's go.
Oh.
All right.
Now, that one was on our original list, if I'm not mistaken.
No, it was not.
Oh.
Really? Wow.
I remember having it, so maybe that's why I thought it was.
So
I will say, if you want to,
that list was bad.
the ones from the original list that are still in are South Central Rain, Don't Go Back to Rockville, Man on the Moon, Fall on Me, and Perfect Circle. Those are the 5 that you had originally that are still in the running.
Okay. I must have went to bat for Radio Free Europe, and I didn't know how to really do it yet that early in the show. Okay. All right, but it gets through unanimous. Didn't think we'd be getting many of those. I'll say that. So to have one right off the bats, that's a good start. Peter, where do you want to go?
I'm gonna zag a little bit from Radio Free Europe, and I'm gonna go with Night Swimming.
All right. Gavin?
No.
Chris?
I got it.
Brian?
Yeah, absolutely.
And John?
Yes.
All right. Four's got a good shot. I mean, again, we skipped all the hullabaloo because there could be lots of arguments even on the 4s. So, all right, Gavin.
I took Be Mine from New Adventures.
All right. Brian.
No. I missed Chris.
Oh yeah, sorry, Chris.
I'm sorry. What was it again? I'm sorry.
Be Mine.
Oh no, I'm sorry. No, I don't have it.
And then Brian, you already said you didn't. John.
No, there was 4 songs that I had 2 spots for, and that was one of them, and it did not make the cut, and I hate myself because I love that song so much, but I can't save you.
And one last go Edit not going in the bin, Peter?
I feel so bad because I was the one pushing the hardest for it in that episode, but
Yeah, you were.
it didn't make my 15. I'm so sorry.
Oh,
Originally, I had all of the New Adventures in Hi-Fi ones, but I did not end up taking them all.
isn't that wild though when you think about it? Like how hard you push for it, and then you get to the big boys, and it's like, man, shoot. All right, Chris.
Something's got to go.
Yeah, something's got to go. You only get 15, so Chris, where do you want to start?
Let's go with the ones I don't think anyone's going to have. I had to stick with my girl, Kate Pearson, Me and Honey.
All right. Brian?
No, I don't, and I'm not happy about that.
John?
No, I gave it an honest shot, but in the end, I just don't think it's in the top 15.
All right. Peter?
I'm so sorry. So sorry.
Oh, no.
And Gavin.
I don't have it either.
Hey,
Oh.
see, you're not alone.
No, that's all right.
All right. Brian.
All right. I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing anything ridiculous. I'm gonna go for what we're doing here, talking about our passion.
All right. Oh my God, computer. Please keep up with me. Or don't, whatever. There it is.
Just do what you want.
There it is. All right, John.
Yes.
All right. Peter.
I've got it.
Gavin.
No.
And Chris.
No.
Hey, three's not bad after two ones. All right. Back to you, John.
All right. I'm gonna go with. I talked this song up a lot when we did the first round, so I'm hoping that that we can hit on it again. How about Perfect Circle?
Peter.
I don't.
Gavin.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ooh. Chris.
No.
And Brian.
I really wanted to, but I didn't. This was another one that I was big on when we did the original list. Sorry.
Oh, 2 is rough for that. That hurts.
That's how you know we're in the finals,
It's
baby.
funny. When you read off the ones off the original list that are still on the running, that's actually the one where I was like, you know what? I don't think that one's going to make it. I'm sad that I was right, but yeah.
Hey, we don't know yet.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Still wiggle room.
I hate it here.
Yeah.
All right. Peter.
How about Fall on Me?
I should just start typing it in because my computer reacts faster. There we go. Gavin?
Yeah, I had to.
Ooh, I like that. Chris?
No, sorry.
Brian?
Yep.
And John?
Yes.
Hey. Those 4s can dislodge 2s. You know, again, we'll see when we get there, but Gavin.
I couldn't leave Rockville off. As legendary as it is, I had to take it.
All right. Rockville. Chris?
Yes.
All right. Brian?
I don't.
John?
No.
And
Oh,
and Peter.
I've got it.
It's a 3.
A shocker from John.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a 3 though. 3's all right. Chris.
Oh shit. I feel like I should just keep going with ones that I think are going to be a 1. How about Disturbance at Heron House?
Right. Brian?
I'm going to get all my disappointment out of the way.
Well, to keep you disappointed, I do not have it.
All right. John?
Yes, that was one of the last ones to make it in.
Wow.
Nice.
Nice.
Peter?
I don't have it.
And Gavin.
Yeah, I think it's one of their best.
Hey.
All right.
See, we'll take that 3. And Brian.
All right. I'm gonna go with the song that Gavin's gonna say no to. The one I love.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
He hates it.
Yeah.
All right. John?
No, that's the one that Disturbance at the Heron House kicked out.
Peter?
I've got it.
Gavin?
I don't hate it, but I really love the lyrics, but I don't have it.
Chris?
No, I kept it. I almost got rid of it, but I kept it.
All right. That's a 3. Respectable.
A very shaky 3.
Yeah. All right. Back to John.
All right. Strange Currencies.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Peter?
Fuck yeah.
Gavin?
I couldn't in the end, but I really love that song.
All right. Chris?
No, sorry.
Oh.
Excuse me. Sorry.
And Brian.
I do have it.
All right, so 3.
3s are going to be tough.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a stronger 3 than the one I love, I feel like, for some reason. I don't know why.
I totally fell in love with Monster again. I know that's record's got a complicated history. That's your record, right, Justin?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, that's a fucking great record.
Again, you know, I don't know if I said this in the run of championship stuff, but I did say this on like the original R.E.M. episode. Monster wasn't my introduction, but it was when they became my band. Even though it was only for one record, it was like I chose that one, and that was the one for me. So, all right. Let's see. Strange Currencies was John.
Me.
So Peter, you're up.
Let's get this out of the way. Losing My Religion.
All right. Oh my God, my dog is snoring. I don't know if you guys can hear him, but he's like right behind me. Gavin?
I did not take it, but I can't even really. I mean, I knew everyone else would have it, so I.
It's dangerous. That's a dangerous game.
Yeah.
I know.
Don't mess with me, Gavin. I swear.
It's
Playing the fire.
It's a that song is so it's supernaturally great. I just didn't take it.
Yeah. Chris?
I almost cut it for the same reasons, but I ended up keeping it for the reasons everyone else is like, yeah, don't play that game. Don't play that game. So, yeah, I kept it. I got it.
All right, Brian?
Oh, yeah. One of my top favorite songs of all time. It's got to be there for me.
And John?
Yes.
All right. So he ended up being right.
Yep.
So that's good.
And poker.
Yeah. That gives you some wiggle room for some play later.
Yeah.
All right. Gavin?
And I tried to shake Driver 8 off my list, and I couldn't get rid of it.
Chat.
All right. Chris?
I feel genuinely bad about that one, but no, I don't. Sorry.
Brian?
No, I don't have it.
Shit, that's such a great song.
I know.
I'm
John?
gonna feel bad.
No, in the end, I think it's just too one-dimensional.
Ooh.
Mm.
Not that that's a bad thing. It does what it does very well.
I hear
But
you.
up against some of these other songs, it didn't stand up.
Yeah, it's the part. The chorus is not the part for me. It's all the other shit they do in that song that like
Yeah.
keeps it alive for me. You know.
Mm. And Peter?
If this were a top 20, it'd be on my list, but it's
Yeah.
not.
Mm.
Driver 8 in the trash.
In the bin.
Wow.
Again, the brutality of a
Wow.
championship edition.
And that's the problem with this. It's, you know, a lot of these, it's like somebody's one of their favorites, but then for four other guys, it's like, no, it's like number 17. So
Yeah. All right, Chris?
let's see. How about I've been doing all these other ones. Let's try something that's got a better shot. What's the frequency, Kenneth?
Ooh.
All right. Brian?
No, that's one of the songs that I made concessions for during the first time, and I did not put it this time.
Mm.
It's all right.
John?
No.
Peter?
No.
And Gavin?
No, that was a hard cut, man. I love that song.
Oh, shit. Oh, damn.
In the
I didn't
trash.
You know
expect.
what? No. Hold on.
I didn't expect
Hold
the
on.
one on that.
Hold on. What's the frequency? Kenneth only had 4 votes in the original episode, and then I got pressured to put another vote on it, and you all didn't take it.
That's how it goes, man.
It's
We
wild.
talked about
This
this.
is a different animal.
Yeah.
Yeah. We planned this.
Yeah. Totally different. All right, Brian.
Oops, sorry. Damn. All right. So I made fun of your original list for having this song on it. Ended up taking it anyway. Orange Crush.
Hey. All right, John?
No.
Peter?
Interesting.
No.
Whoa.
Gavin?
I do not.
And
Wow.
Chris?
That's the one I brought back just a few minutes ago before we started.
Hey.
And I was like, why isn't this song on it? And this other song is. So yeah, I have it.
That's a 2.
Wow.
It's a great song.
All right. It doesn't sound like it has much of a shot, but it's got 2. It doesn't go right to the bin, at least. All right, we're back around to you, John. We're getting, let's see, we're about halfway, I think.
Yeah, I've still got 7.
Yeah.
So I mentioned I originally had taken everything off of New Adventures that was available, and I did not end up with that, but I did take this one, Electrolyte.
All right. Peter?
Yeah, I've got it.
All right. Gavin?
That was a tough cut.
All right. Chris?
No.
And Brian?
I do not.
I feel like there's a lot. Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like there's a lot more harder lines with this. Like, I feel like there's a ton of 3s, 4s, more 3s, or I mean 4s in the prior rounds. I feel like there's going to be a lot of 2s here and 1s here because people drew lines. All right. Peter.
How about Drive?
Gavin?
I don't have it, but you guys inspired me on a number of songs like Drive. I went back and listened to it, and I really appreciate that song a lot more than I did before this panel. And also Country Feedback and Low. I think they're too long, but I totally got into those two.
Oh, nice.
Uh-oh.
Drive, Chris.
No.
Spoiler alert.
I know, right?
Yeah. No, I'm sorry, I don't have that.
Brian?
I feel this is one that I fought for because I wanted 5 songs from Automatic.
Yeah.
And I didn't take it because I felt I had too many songs from Automatic. So
See? All right.
Yeah, I just yelled at all of you, and then I did the same thing.
Yeah. John?
I can't save you.
There's going to be a lot of that, I feel. A lot of that.
Yeah.
Down to the wire bin. All right. Gavin.
Okay. The song that no one will have. Did anybody take Exhuming McCarthy from Document?
Chris?
No, sorry. That was a tough cut.
Bryan?
I didn't, but I totally respect that pick. It's one of my favorite songs on Document.
John?
No.
And Peter?
Sorry.
All right. Boom, boom, boom. Good Lord, computer. Chris?
Some of these twos might have a chance.
I know, right?
Perfect circle. Just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Chris, where
I'm
do you want
sorry.
to go?
Am I up?
Yep.
Let's see. How about Gardening at Night?
G-A-R.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine. That was a yes from you.
Yeah. I had a whatever. I want to say it.
All right. John?
No.
Ooh.
Peter?
I've got it.
There we go.
And Gavin.
Yeah, I've got it.
Nice.
All right.
There we go.
You take that 4.
Hell yeah.
Bryan.
All right, I'm gonna go to a different automatic song since I didn't take Drive. Man on the Moon.
John.
No.
Peter.
I've got it.
Gavin.
I don't.
And Chris.
I got it. That's one of my favorites.
All right.
3, Hanging On to Life.
My favorite song that has my name in it.
Elvis.
Yeah.
All right, we're back around to you, John.
All right. Oh man, I'm so scared to pick any of these. Let's just go with South Central Rain.
Yeah.
All right, Peter.
Sorry. Getting ahead of myself.
I got it.
Gavin.
Yes.
Chris.
Hell yeah.
And Bryan.
Sorry, of course. This
Yeah.
is the answer. Of course.
100,000,000%.
Hey.
Wow.
Hey, that means we did
Cool.
something right on that first list. All right, let me cue that up. Or don't. Whatever, computer man. Like, make me feel like a fool. It's cool. I just rhymed right on time. Look, I mean, considering where this has been, the fact that there's 2 that got through unanimously, that's... I feel like that's big. I mean, it also says a lot about those songs.
Yeah.
All right. Boom, boom, boom. And Peter.
I've only got 2 left.
Yeah, all right.
And I know Gavin's not going to have this country feedback.
Spoilers.
I don't, but respect. It's a really cool song.
Yeah. Chris.
I wanted to keep all out of time, but that's the one I cut. I'm sorry.
And Bryan.
No.
And John.
Yeah, I still think that's the best R.E.M. song.
Wow. Okay. Well, you take the 2 then. Maybe it can fight its way in.
That's a 2 that I'd fight back for. That's a great song. Yeah, like I said, I wanted to keep it.
All right. Gavin.
Another one I'll probably be All Alone on. I took Finest Work Song from Document.
Right. Chris?
No, sorry.
Brian?
I got it.
Nice.
John?
No.
And Peter?
Nope.
I feel bad. Gavin and I were hand in hand on a lot of these through the first bunch of rounds. I feel bad this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Chris?
All right, let's see. How about Sidewinder Sleeps Tonight?
Brian?
No.
The annoyance of John?
No.
Peter?
No.
And Gavin?
I got you. I love that song.
Thank you. I thought Automatic for the People was your record. Peter, come on.
It is. if it were up to me, like that whole record would be the fucking top 10.
Oh boy. All right, Brian. It's your pick.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Maps and Legends.
John.
Yes. Added it back on today.
Wow.
You don't hear that from John a lot. Peter.
No.
Gavin.
I don't, but it's a great song.
And Chris.
It is a great song. That's the one where I was like, why is this on my list and not Orange Crush? So I cut it.
Oh. Both of those with Brian, interestingly enough. All right. If Peter's got one, you got to be getting down to the nitty gritty here too, John, right?
I've still got 3.
Okay, so we'll just keep going. Where do you want to go now?
World Leader Pretend.
All right, Peter?
Nope.
Gavin?
I was wondering if that was going to make your final list. I didn't take it, but you had a good argument for it.
All right, Chris?
I had asked you guys to give it a second chance. Yes.
And you were predicting. You were
It's-
like, that might show up in the final list.
It's going to sound like no one did. We'll see.
Chris?
No, sorry. I wanted one off of Green, and I like Orange Crush better.
All right, and Brian.
Wow. I was with John on this in the episode, but I didn't take it this time.
Oh, that's brutal.
Yeah, it is. It's tough because I don't know. I can't even tell you why I cut it.
Yeah. Because you
That
only had
doesn't help.
15. Yeah, because you only had 15. That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Peter?
This is my last one. I'm pretty sure it's gonna go straight to the bin, but I still love it. It's The Great Beyond.
All right. Gavin?
I don't.
All right, Chris?
No.
Brian?
This is another song that I fought for to make the list, but I didn't take it.
And John?
No.
See, I mean, it does make you think about, like, when you're fighting for these songs to get on those initial 10s, how do they stand up against the big boys? I mean, it's obvious Peter would have had it no matter what, but, you know, makes you think. All right, Great Beyond was Peter's last one, so Gavin?
All right, guys. This one's going to hurt. I need to see I Believe make the list off Pageant.
All right. I thought Chris was laughing for a second, but he was just
No,
hacking up along.
That was just a cough.
Yeah.
I can't help you though. I don't got it.
All right, Brian?
No, I don't.
Oh no. John?
No.
Oh, and we know Peter's already
I
out.
Believe in the trash.
So.
Unbelievable.
Just crazy. It's just crazy.
I don't.
That's crazy.
I don't see it on the list. The finals list. Oh wait, there it is. Never mind. My bad.
Mm.
That was a hard one. That banjo. Oh,
Yeah.
if it was 20, I'd have it for sure.
All right,
Yeah,
Chris.
same.
I got 2 left. I don't know which one to pick. I got to go with Out of Time because that's my favorite record. Low.
Brian.
No, I don't have Low. And that's another song that I fought for.
John.
No.
We know Peter's out. And Gavin.
I don't have it. It's a cool song.
Into the bin. Brian.
When we were doing that list, Low was one of the songs going up against Radio Song.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
everyone was picking Low over Radio Song.
Yeah.
Not me.
Yeah.
And
All right.
Gavin's the only one that had my back on Radio Song. He put up a strong argument for that song.
Thank you,
And everyone was like, nope.
All right. I got 2 left. Everybody Hurts.
Sometimes.
Right now.
Yeah. John.
No.
We know Peter's out. Gavin.
No.
And Chris.
Nope.
Wow.
That was
Everybody
and that was the one. The argument was, we could hear any band sing that song,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that kept it off my top 15 because I do love that song a lot. But your earlier arguments, killed it for me.
All right. We are getting down to it. John.
All right. Let's throw out Cuyahoga.
All right. Gavin.
don't have it. I love that song.
Chris.
No, I almost brought that one back, but no.
And Brian.
I don't.
Cuyahoga in the bin. All right. Gavin.
Clearly this is probably going to make the number one with a bullet.
Yeah.
I chose Pilgrimage off Murmur.
All right. Chris.
No, it's a good song, but no, sorry.
And Brian.
Don't have it.
And John.
Nope. The one that I have left is from Murmur, but it's not that one.
Boy, so we're down to like basically everybody's last one, I think.
Yeah.
All right, Chris.
This is my last one. And off Chronic Town. I love that little record. Wolves Lower.
Wow.
Boy.
I love that song so much.
All right.
What was it? I missed it.
Wolves Lower.
Wolves Lower.
Oh, no, I don't have it.
John? We know John doesn't have it.
Yeah, that's one that I agonized about all week, but in the end it was didn't make it. I don't feel great about it.
And then Gavin.
No, but I love that made your final list. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so we know that Chris and Peter are out now, and you're down to your last one, right, Brian?
Yes. These days.
All right. Boop, 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 boop. We know that John doesn't have it because he's already given us the spoiler. And Gavin?
I don't, but that's a great pick. Love that song.
All right, so Brian is out. Boop, 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 boop. And John, what's your last one?
Sitting Still.
Gavin?
You know it.
Hey.
Well, you know what? I'm really glad we kept that stupid All the Way to Reno song over Radio Song. I'm really glad we landed on that. That song that nobody fucking picked.
I wouldn't have picked Radio Song for this either.
Yeah, to be fair, yeah, I wouldn't pick Radio Song for this either.
Wasn't Reno unanimous?
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe.
No, it only had 4.
Oh,
All right. Just for clerical reasons, are you all out, Gavin?
Yes.
Okay. So we covered everything but Bittersweet Me, Harbor Coat, all the way to Reno. What if we gave it away and Walk Unafraid? Those were the only ones that nobody went to bat for. All right. So 2 are in: Radio Free Europe and South Central Rain. That's a hot start. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 fours. Do we take all the 4s and then start working on the 3s and 2s? Let's look at these 4. Let's look at these 4s. Night Swimming, Fall on Me, Losing My Religion, Gardening at Night. Those are the
Gonna get her
4s.
some vitamin stuff.
I mean, what do you think, John? Like, considering how this went, 4 seems like a really, really good shot.
Yeah. I mean, I was in on all of them except Gardening at Night.
I mean, if you take all 4, you still have 4 more songs that you can add.
Yeah. I would say, I'm not saying no to all 4, but I would say at least 3.
Okay. Peter, you were in on all 4 of these. Do you feel like still all 4 of them should go in at this point?
oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. And then I see, Gavin, you're out on Night Swimming and Losing My Religion. Do you think, because looking at these 4s, do you think this is a place to concede and just allow, or do you think some of these 4s just kind of got 4s by proxy?
Well, I'd say you take the 2 interesting songs and you leave off the 2 greatest hits. But having said that, the greatest hits are great for a reason. So.
Yeah, there's something to that. The only one you weren't in on, Chris, was Fall on Me. Is that a sword you would die on? Like, you would fall on this one? Fall on it? Hey-o.
No, I wouldn't fall on that. That's fine with me.
And then I'm looking at Bryan. You had all 4 of these as well. And you almost immediately said, yeah, we should take all 4.
Yeah, they all belong there.
Okay. So Gavin is putting forward essentially saying Fall on Me, Gardening at Night, and then we come back. John, you were saying at least 3, right? I'm assuming what you meant were the 3 that you were on.
Yeah, I really just want to leave. I mean, honestly, my thought is I want Perfect Circle and Country Feedback. So my thought is let's leave space so that I can fight for those later.
All right. So, well then, so what if all right, let's look at these 3s next. What do we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's look at these 3s and see which one of these 3s belong, with the 4s. Not putting them in, just adding them into that 4 conversation. So we got Talk About the Passion, Rockville, Disturbance at the Heron House, The One I Love, Strange Currencies, and Man on the Moon. Now, when you look at, like, Peter, like, the big hits, the One I Love, Man on the Moon, when we're looking at these as 3s, does that kind of sway you against, pushing them in, or does that give you more of a reason to want to kind of fight to get them in?
I mean, there's part of me that doesn't want it to be a greatest hits list, but Man on the Moon is a fucking good song.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, like, I can see a place for that. I can see a place for South Central Rain. I can see a place for South Central Rain is in.
Yes.
You mean Rockville?
Rockville, and I could also make a case for Strange Currencies.
Yeah.
Talk About the Passion too is there.
What do you think, Gavin? When you're looking at these 3s, like, is it again like you're looking at hits versus deep cut?
For me, it is. Yeah.
Peter, or I'm sorry, Chris. I was reading backwards. Chris, when you're looking at these threes, is there ones that you really feel like belong at least in this next level of conversation?
Yeah, don't go back to Rockville. Absolutely.
Okay. All right. I like that definitive statement. So let's work on Rockville. Bryan, you were out on Rockville. Is that just that you didn't have enough room, or is that just no, it really doesn't belong?
It was kind of more I didn't have enough room.
Okay.
Like the only it's tough because these other threes I would like fight for. I mean, talk about the passion. I felt like, I don't know. It's tough too because these other threes are all like radio singles, like Man on the Moon, The One I Love, Strange Currencies, Talk About the Passion. Those four are all like radio hits.
I don't think Strange Currencies was a radio hit.
No,
I don't think
I
so.
could have sworn I heard it on the radio.
It got some play.
Yeah,
It was like the fourth or fifth single off of that thing. It was
Yeah.
Kenneth and Crush with Eyeliner, Bang and Blame.
yeah,
Then they
But I
brought
like
it back
all
a
the-
little bit with the bear.
yeah.
Yeah, but that was like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. See, this
Yeah.
is this is
The
going
bear.
back.
God
Like,
damn.
yeah. I already went through this trying to make my list.
Yeah.
We didn't
Like
all
that's
watch.
that's why I chose those four over like Rockville. So like so now I'm like, would I do it again?
Right.
And part of me is like saying like, yeah, I would. Like I would take those four Rockville again. And Disappearance because I was out on that one too. So it's then I do the thing like, oh, should I just toss on an earbud and listen to it real quick? But that never helps.
I can pass the buck on Rockville for now to John, because John was out on it as well. Does Rockville scratch the radio hit itch? And I mean, does that make, Religion and what's the other four? What was the other four?
Night-
Fall on
Guardian.
Me.
Yeah, Fall on Me. Like, does it kind of make those hits a little bit more expendable?
No, I don't think Rockville. I don't want to say deserves a spot, but I don't think it's needed on this list. I think there's other songs that represent them better. I think of the threes, I would say Talk About the Passion and Strange Currencies would be the ones I would fight for.
All right, so Passion's getting a lot of play here. So let's look at that next. Gavin, you didn't have to talk about the Passion.
So it's not my favorite song on Murmur, and I would flip Perfect Circle and talk about the passion. Like their Perfect Circles are their first beautiful song.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
I'd swap those for sure and try to fight for Perfect Circle.
All right, so I mean, do we? So Bryan, you talk about the passion a lot. Is that something that we'd be willing to do here? Drop passion out of conversation here, and again, not putting in the list, but bring Perfect Circle into the conversation.
Not for that song.
No. Agreed. I never had Perfect Circle. I did have Talk About the Passion. So
yeah, I wouldn't put it above Talk About the Passion. I mean, I know we're talking like a 3 versus 2. It's very, these are all like on a wire, like all of them.
Yeah.
I don't like it here.
right.
Yeah, it feels.
Like I conceded on Fall on Me. I never had that on either list either. So
Yeah.
So we're really not making any progress.
Right? We nailed down a 4.
I think just toss those 4s right in there.
See,
Let's put Night Swimming in at least. Night Swimming's great.
Do you have any hesitation on Night Swimming, Gavin? At this point,
I would flip Perfect Circle for Night Swimming again. It's a beautiful song, and Perfect Circle's a better beautiful song.
see,
I disagree.
see, you know, uh, I feel like we can't, everybody with this, everybody has to agree. I feel like sure concessions will be made, but like it has to be convincing concessions.
My thing is like, I'm worried that like this top 10 would end up just being all IRS songs, and like we're pushing out like all like the 90s and 2000s stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again,
I mean, I would get rid of Passion for fucking Country Feedback.
yeah. See,
Yeah, I'm all in on Perfect Circle and Country Feedback.
all right. So okay. We need to find we need to find things that don't belong here. Okay. So let's look at these twos and see which one of these actually have a chance here. Perfect Circle's come up a lot. Country Feedback has come up a lot. What are these other twos? We got Orange Crush, Electrolyte, Finest Work Song, Sidewinder Sleeps Tonight, Maps and Legends, and Sitting Still. Of those, are the only ones that really stand a chance at this point Perfect Circle and Country Feedback? I'm going to go to you, Gavin.
Yeah. Can you read that one more time? I think there was one that stood out to me.
Okay, sure. Perfect Circle, Orange Crush, Electrolyte, Country Feedback, Finest Work Song, Sidewinder Sleeps Tonight, Maps and Legends, and Sitting Still.
I'm fine with that.
So doing Perfect Circle and Country Feedback is the only ones, again, not pushing anything in, just the only ones still in the conversation. Okay. Just clarifying. Chris.
Well, so we're talking just twos.
Right.
The only two that I really like would fight for, I have no energy to fight, is Sidewinder. I love that song so fucking much.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, Brian, that opens up a third two that would just continue in the conversation at this point. When you're looking at those twos, would you be ready and willing to just lay all those twos down other than the three that have come up?
Yeah, I mean, I would see. He said Sidewire.
Yes.
No, you're gonna like push my buttons when you say an automatic song. And then we got. I mean, if we're talking about just dropping the other twos and just letting them be dead and into the bin.
Yes.
That would be Finest Work Song, right? Maps and Legends, Orange Crush,
Electrolyte, and Sitting
Still.
Yeah, I'd be fine. I mean, I'm a little surprised by Finest Work Song, but I mean, I'm not gonna drag another song into this, so yeah, I'm fine just cutting all of those off.
What do you think, John?
Calling them dead.
See, to me, like Sidewinder does not belong. Like that's a fun song, but I do not think it's one of their best. Like it was put on automatic just to balance out the heaviness of the other stuff. Like I consider that like one of those like happy to be here songs. I would not put that anywhere near the top 10.
All right, but would you be willing to just, let everything else, Perfect Circle, Country Feedback, those be the ones that are still alive?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Peter?
I hate to throw a wrench into this, but I would make a case for Electrolyte.
All right. So let's get Orange Crush, Finest Work Song, Maps and Legends, Sitting Still out. All right. We'll start there. The two that have already been vocalized against, or Sidewinder Sleeps Tonight, Chris went, threw that out there as, one he wanted to bring to this next level. Bryan said, automatic for the people. I'm willing to go to bat for it. John said, it feels good to be here, but it should be out. Peter, where do you feel on Sidewinder Sleeps Tonight?
Had a good run. I love the song, but I mean, there's better songs here, I think.
Okay. And Gavin, Sidewinder Sleeps Tonight.
I'm fine with it going. It made my list. It made my top list. I think it's better than just a fun like jokey song. I think it's a really weird song and interesting. That only they could have written. But I'm cool with it. It didn't have. I could feel it didn't have the votes. You know,
Doesn't
what I
have
mean?
the votes. Yeah.
I'm good.
So before I give you, your final push here, Chris, I know you said you don't have any fight left. I feel like at this point, it got more fight than the four that already just ducked out. Do you think at this point, now that it's gotten a little bit more play, it's happy to be here, or do you think there's more you can say that you can kind of sway the other guys?
No, I already tried swaying guys on other songs and lost. I'm not going to try.
Okay.
Like I said, I don't have the oomph to make a case.
All right. So then
not for this song anyway.
Right. I'll give you the first crack at Electrolyte here. Peter threw the wrench, last go around. It came up at the last minute. I mean, something going forward. It's new adventures. Keep that in mind. Is Electrolyte something that we should be looking at here? You got first crack, Chris.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
No, I don't give a shit about Electrolyte.
Oh,
Damn.
No, honestly, I mean,
That's
that
how you
record
really
was
feel.
fine. I don't hate it. It's a good song, but didn't make my list. So
yeah. It's heavy words there, from Chris, Brian. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, no hate against it. It's
Obviously.
a fine song.
Yeah. But Brian, do you think Electrolyte belongs amongst, again, this is really just bumping it up to a 3. Like it's fighting for its life to hang out.
Yeah, nah. So I mean, sorry to be blunt, but no.
All right. We'll go to Gavin because Gavin didn't have Electrolyte on his initial list. Electrolyte, does it belong in these, at least in the 3s level of the conversation?
No, I'm good for it to go. I think it's a really cool song. I have the 7-inch of it. I really like it a lot. I don't think it's a top tier R.E.M. song, but it's a really cool song. But I'm good for it to sit down.
All right. And John, I mean, you had it on your initial list. Is it happy to be here?
Yeah, I mean, I love New Adventures, but the way this played out, I think it's third behind Perfect Circle and Country Feedback, with it, which is nothing to sneeze at. That's high quality company, but in this case, I wouldn't fight for it with the other stuff that we have.
All right. You have a last gasp here, Peter, or you can hear the momentum sway. It's up to you. But I think John just made a great point. It got run here. It's not like it got ran out of town with little to no talk. People were forced to give reasons why they would or wouldn't get behind it. So I'll leave it to you. Do you lay down or do you still feel like it's got more legs?
I mean, I personally do, but I'll lay down because it's 4 against 1 at this point.
All right, so now let's start tackling these 3s. We're moving Perfect Circle and Country Feedback into the 3s, right? And
Yeah.
I'm going to put an X instead of a 1 just to show that it wasn't one that got voted for. It was...
So we're getting rid of the rest of the 2s?
Yes, all the 2s are officially out. So I can shift these 3s. Now we got to do kind of the same thing with the 3s. We need to look at what really stands a chance in the conversation, or do we cut a 4? Or are all 4s still alive?
All right. See, this is where I'm at with 4s and 3s, because not to beat a dead horse. Radio song was a 4, it got bumped for a 3.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go. If a 4 is gonna get cut, it should be Fall on Me, and bring back Country Feedback or Rockville.
Okay. All right. Chris has posited dropping Fall on Me as a 4, Brian. For Country Feedback, what was the other one? Rockville. Now you've kind of already said your piece on Rockville, Brian.
Yeah.
You know, would Country Feedback stand a better chance as a 4?
Yeah, but I wouldn't Fall on Me for it.
Okay.
I mean, Fall on Me, it's like it's got that good classic poppy, bouncy R.E.M. It's like, I think it's like our only really like upbeat song we have going here. Like, unless you're gonna count like Radio Free Europe, like just like the bounciness and like, I don't know, Fall on Me is
Rockville
like,
is definitely bouncier than Fall on Me.
yeah.
Gardening at Night is bouncy. I mean, you could say Losing My
Absolutely.
Religion too. Yeah.
Oh shit, I forgot about Gardening at Night. Was that a 4?
Yeah, that was a 4.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a 4.
That's a great song.
Man. Well, now I want country. Well, now I don't know. Now I'm back on like Country Feedback and Rockville, but I don't want to lose.
You don't want to lose Fall on Me yet.
I don't want to lose Fall on Me yet. I really don't want to lose. I'm looking at the other 3, and like I really don't want to lose Man on the. But then, part of me thinks like, and yeah, Man on the Moon's kind of a fun song. I mean, it's got an Elvis impression in it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just don't want to lose. That's what I'm saying.
All right, so, you know, let's leave the 4s alone. Let's see which of these 3s belong with those 4s. And, you know, just for a record, there's 4 4s, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 3s. So, all right, what do we got? Talk about the Passion. Don't go back to Rockville. Disturbance at the Heron House. The One I Love. Strange Currencies. Man on the Moon. Perfect Circle and Country Feedback. Is there a 3 that you're looking at here, John, that's like, man, like, you know, you look at the 2s that we just dumped out, right? And you think about the 2s that just got bumped up to 3s, like, talk about being in good company. Is there places, or is there a song out of those 3s where they're kind of looking at, you know, who's around them and they're going, you know what? I think I'm going to back out here.
Oh, like ones that we can drop.
Right.
I think, I mean, Disturbance at the Heron House was one that I added late on. I think it's super cool, but again, seeing how this played out, I don't think it really has a shot. Like, I'm all in on Perfect Circle and Country Feedback. I would put those in even over the 4s at this point. So I would say Disturbance at the Heron House, and probably Don't Go Back to Rockville, even though I do love that song, nothing against it, but looking at what else is out there, I don't think it stands up with what's left.
All right, so we know where Chris stands on Rockville, so I'm gonna leave that one alone for a moment. Let's focus in on Heron House, Gavin. You had Heron House. John is posited at this point it's a strong 3. Very happy to be here, but probably doesn't stand a chance at the 10. Do you agree with him?
That's a tough one. It's a tough one because you're looking at like a song that wouldn't be on the greatest hits. You know, it's like a really interesting.
Right.
I mean, one way, like I'm looking at this list and it's swimming around on the page, like I'm sure it is for some of you guys too. So I'm just going to posit this. I'll just throw this out there. I mean, the way that this is shaking out, we could split it and try to do 5 from the 80s and 5 from the 90s, like do 5 from the early half and 5 from the later half, or 5 from IRS and 5 from Warner, however you want to think about that. Because
I like that idea.
then that makes me feel better about cutting something like Disturbance because I'm like, oh, we've still got 3 slots for the early songs, you know?
Mm, yeah.
So your 5 from Warner would be Night Swimming, Strange Currencies, Losing My Religion, Man on the Moon, and Country Feedback, right?
Uh, is that right? That wouldn't be mine, but yes, I think that's what
Well, I
we've
think
got.
those would be the only 5
Oh, I see what
from
you're saying.
from Warner.
Because we cut the one I love, right? Because it's a 3, and we
Well, we're working on 3s right now.
The one I love.
right. So then, Country Feedback, Strange Currencies, Man on the Moon, Losing My Religion, the one I love, Night Swimming. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a big list.
Yeah.
So, yeah, okay. Well,
I didn't mean to make it more confusing.
No.
I just my brain.
Yeah.
I like
So
your. Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Like, you know, because there's 2 eras of REM. Like, should we just split it and go 5 and 5? You know, that's like the one thing. Like I noticed, like when they did like the Pearl Jam, you know, nothing past the Yield was there. Like it was all just from the 590s albums. That was it. And then I was like, oh man, like I was like, it's tough. Yeah, like I said, and you know, here's where it comes to, like I said earlier, where we have, like we have a couple guys who are like the older generation X and guys that are the younger generation X. Now, like, you know, some are fighting harder for 80s and some are fighting harder for 90s.
Mm-hmm.
All that to say, I have no answers for you, man.
I mean, let's go back to Disturbance at the Heron House.
Right. So
Chris,
Chris
that can go as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, well, let's leave that to Chris, because Chris, you had both Rockville and Heron House. We know your opinions on Rockville. Would you be at this point willing to lay down on Heron House?
It depends on what we're doing with document. Are we keeping the one I love, or are we keeping Disturbance? I would vote Disturbance over the one I love.
Right. Let's see.
But of Heron House and Rockville, I'm going to choose Rockville.
Right. So we've got the 2 unanimous were both 80s, right? Yeah, Murmur and Reckoning.
Yeah.
So if we're going with Gavin's idea of 5 and 5, 2 of the 80 spots are already in. So you've got 3 spots. Well, let's do that then. Okay, let's if we take Gavin's idea, we'll start with you, John. If we take Gavin's idea of 5 and 5, 2 of the 80 spots are taken. What would your 3 remaining 80 spots be?
So I would take I would take Gardening at Night. Ooh. I think I would probably I'm looking at like Rockville, Heron House, and the one I love are thinking about like ranking those. I know I just said that like Disturbance at the Heron House could maybe go, but if we're doing it this way, I think it's maybe Gardening at Night, Perfect Circle, and maybe Heron House, just to throw something in there that's a little underrated, that might be a little bonus for people. Like maybe that one would be unexpected and like maybe turn somebody's ear to be like, oh, they really they really went deep on that thing and really tried to pick the best song. So those I think would be the 3.
That would be my exact 3.
All right. So, before I go to Peter, then I'll just mark a G next to J, just so we can keep that tabulated. All right. Same question to you, Peter. Like 3 of the 80 songs. How would you round out the 80 songs?
Gardening at Night, Fall on Me, and Perfect Circle.
Right.
Yeah.
Peter and Perfect Circle. All right, Chris.
Gardening at Night, obviously. Harry House, and was talking about the passion. Was that dropped?
No, it's a
No.
3.
That's still there. I'd take that over Perfect Circle. I'm sorry.
All right. So Disturbance, Talk About the Passion, and Gardening at Night.
No, Rockville.
Rockville?
Talk About the Passion. Heron House.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. Disturbance is Heron House. My bad. Yeah. Disturbance at the Heron House. Don't go back to Rockville, obviously. Talk About the Passion. I like better than Perfect Circle.
Okay, so
Perfect Circle. It's a good song, but never maybe.
So not
No,
Gardening.
no gardening at night.
No. Did I say
Okay.
gardening at night? Gardening at night. God damn it. Gardening at night. Talk About the Passion. And God, where's the other one? Disturbance at Heron House.
Okay.
Those are my 3.
Okay.
Who knows?
So no Rockville. Okay. All right.
No, wait. Shit. Fuck. I
Wait,
forgot
there's more.
God damn. Oh, God damn it. All right. Gardening at Night. Fuck. Don't go back to Rockville. And God damn it. Heron House, I guess.
All right. So no talk about the passion. Okay.
Yeah, that's my bad. My bad. Sorry.
That's all right. All right. And Brian.
Well, I gotta have something from we gotta have something from Document.
Right.
Like in my top 5 favorite R.E.M. albums, like Document is on there twice. Like
Yeah.
like Document and like definitely well, we're not on 90s right now. We're on 80s, but Document is my favorite of the 80s album. It's see, but so if I were gonna, so are we counting Gardening at Night, or are we just giving it a pass because it's a 4?
No, you got to count it.
Yeah, you pick your 3.
Well, I'm still gonna fight a very weak fight for the one I love. And then, man, Talk About the Passion. And then for me, it's between Disturbance and Rockville. And I like Rockville, but I already made this whole argument against Rockville, and I already professed my love for Document as the best 80s R.E.M. album. So am I going to take 2? 2 from Document? I am.
There you go. Hey man, it's your songs.
Yeah.
All right. So by the numbers, Gardening at Night and Disturbance are 2 of the 2 are in. And I mean, Speak Now or Forever Hold Your Peace, I'm going to push those through.
Good.
Right? Boom and boom, because those got 4 out of 5 people said that would be one of their 3 songs. So Gardening at Night, Disturbance at the Heron House are in.
Oh wait, what happens to Fall on Me then?
That's what I'm
Nothing yet.
saying.
Nothing yet.
Nothing
It's
yet.
still got to pick one more.
Yeah, we still need
Goes in the bin.
we still need one more 80s song. So, I mean, if we're going by just votes, Perfect Circle got 3.
Okay.
Rockville, One I Love, Talk About the Passion, and Fall on Me each got 1. Yeah. So if we're going on just votes, then it's Perfect Circle, but we also have to keep into account that, well, I guess really the only 4 that kind of got pushed forward at this point is Fall on Me. So, I mean, if you want to do the fair thing, Fall on Me got 4 on the original votes, and Perfect Circle got 2 on the original votes, got considered to get bumped into the 3, but then got 3 votes for. So I mean, really, it's a 4 versus technically a 2. I don't know how much weight you put on that, and like how you feel about Guarding at Night and Disturbance at the Heron House already getting in, John. Like, I mean, you've been pounding the Perfect Circle drum, but you also had Fall on Me.
I mean, Perfect Circle to me
Also-
is just a timeless song. Like I think I said before, it's the only R.E.M. song I think that would fit on all of their records, and it would be the best song on a lot of them. And I just think it's. I don't know, I don't know how the '90s thing is going to play out. We might not have anything else that sounds like it. I think it's an amazing like vocal performance by Stipe. That's the one that I would really fight for. I would love to get it on this list.
Chris, were you about to say something?
Well, because we're talking about a 2 coming back, but we still got like Don't Go Back to Rockville was a 3.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple other 3s that, I don't know.
Well,
I'm still trying to fight for Don't Go Back to Rockville. So I don't have much fight in me, but that's a song. It might be one of my top 5.
Well, if we're looking at we're still looking at kind of a hung jury, as it were. So what do we got here for the '90s? Country Feedback, Man on the Moon, Strange Currencies,
Losing My Religion, and Night Swimming.
What was that 1, 2, 3, 4? Is that 5 exactly?
Yep.
I mean,
Lock it in.
If that's what we're doing, if that's what we're doing, we got to lock it in, right? Does anybody disagree? Lock it in, Champa. Or do we just do that? I mean, it seems like we all agreed that it was the 580s, 590s. If anybody disagrees at this point, make your case.
I'm sitting here listening to Perfect Circle, and God damn it, why did I do that?
All right.
And I'm thinking about what John said, and like, yeah, you could put this song on like New Adventures of, and it would fit right in, like next to like Ebo's Letter.
Yeah.
Also, Ebo should have been here. But anyway,
Yeah. Focus up.
Focus up. Yeah. I mean, I'm a '90s kid. I'm very happy just to push all those '90s.
All right. Let's see. Boo, 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 boo. Country Feedback. Man on the Moon. Strange Currencies.
I'm just happy to see Country Feedback make it to the final.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
That makes me very happy.
All right, what does that get us to 9? Should. My computer's being really slow. I missed one.
The live performances of that song are so much better than the studio version.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I forgot. Strange Currencies. Okay. So now we can really close out the 80s conversation here. I want to run down the 9 real quick and see if that kind of changes everybody's thoughts. The 9 that are already in: Radio Free Europe, South Central Rain, Gardening at Night, Disturbance on the Heron House, Night Swimming, Losing My Religion, Man on the Moon, Country Feedback, Strange Currencies. All right. Now we go back. And I mean...
5, right, Justin? There's 5 in contention
1, 2,
for the
3,
last
4,
slot.
5. Yep. It's Fall on Me, Talk About the Passion, Don't Go Back to Rockville, The One I Love, Perfect Circle. I mean, again, Fall on Me has 4, but at this point, Peter, looking at everything that has gone in, is that still top of your list to be the last one? I mean, again, it took the 4, but Perfect Circle has 3, in that second round to get this far. Like, where is Fall on Me number 10 for you? I guess is what I'm getting at.
I mean, it's got everything that makes R.E.M. great. It's got Peter Buck's jangly guitars. It's got Mike Mills doing great backing vocals and doing a beautiful job with the bridge. And the lyrics are great. Stipe gives a great performance. I don't know. For me, it's just one of their quintessential songs.
Gavin, at this point, I know you went to bat pretty hard for Perfect Circle last go. I mean, if we've got just the 180 song at this point, I mean, is it Fall on Me because it got 4? Is it Perfect Circle because it got the 3, or is it one of those other ones?
I mean, this is a crazy decision. I totally agree with everything Peter just said. I mean, Fall on Me is incredible, and I just want to say, just for the record, it's fucking crazy that we don't have anything off Life's Rich Pageant. That's my second favorite R.E.M. song. That's record. That's like an incredible album. It's wild to cut Rockville. I do understand John's argument about that. It's a sentimental favorite for me, and it feels like it just feels like the way that I imagine Athens. I don't know. Anyway, I always forget that the one I love is a part of the 80s crew. I always think about it as a part of the 90s crew. For sentimental reasons, out of those 5, I would choose Perfect Circle over Fall on Me.
All right.
But it's a painful decision.
Chris, you've gone.
And I'm not even saying it's a better song.
Yeah.
Like Fall on Me is a perfect song.
There you go. Chris, you've gone pretty hard on Rockville, but I mean, you look at these other 9. Is the fight still in you, or is it one of these other songs?
No, I mean, no, I love Rockville. I don't really. I mean, Fall on Me is a fine song. I had never picked it on my first list.
Yeah.
I obviously didn't pick it on this list. None of the songs that I really liked on Life's Rich Pageant made it. So yeah, I don't know. I'm sticking with Rockville, but que sera, sera. What will be.
I hear
I got nothing left.
Bryan, I mean, you split yourself here with the one I love and talk about the passion. Is it one of those, or are you willing to kind of, because you were in on the original voting on Fall on Me as well?
Yeah, and Life's Rich Pageant is like my second favorite 80s album. So like, 80s R.E.M. album. So having, like I said, when I put up the one I love, like it sounded like week 3. Like it didn't get a feel of a strong 3, like Disturbance kind of did, and like Strange Currencies felt a very strong 3. So if I had to concede on one, I guess it would be the one I love, but it just that and then that for me that puts like Fall on Me versus Passion is still in there, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I think it would be Fall on Me if it were then for Fall on Me versus talk about the Passion, it'd be Fall on Me. I had them both when we did the first episodes. I had them both today. Yeah, I would take, and then now the other conundrum is I put Perfect Circle in my head because I sat here listening. So then I do like Fall on Me versus Perfect Circle, and yeah, Perfect Circle, like it shows so much like depth from the band from the beginning, like like they wouldn't really you feel like, oh well, they're not gonna perfect that sound until like Automatic, but like they did perfect that sound early.
Wait, I like that.
You know, like it's crazy. It's crazy how talented they were right out the bat.
So-
Even Murmur isn't like one of my favorite. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm gonna stick with. I'm just gonna stick with Fall on Me because I had originally.
All right. So
And I'm gonna be, I don't know, a strong second vote for Perfect Circle.
here's what I'm hearing, and you have withdrawn on the one I love. The way this conversation's going anyway, it doesn't sound like it stands a chance anyway.
No.
So let's remove that from the conversation and bring it down to 4. Everyone's kind of made a case about Fall on Me, talk about the Passion, Rockville, and Perfect Circle. Chris said he's kind of out of the energy to continue pushing for Rockville. John, you've been out on Rockville. Gavin's kind of seems like he can be swayed on Rockville. Peter seems set on Fall on Me, and John seems set on Perfect Circle. So basically nowhere.
Well, I mean, so we had 1 vote for Rockville, right?
Right.
2 votes for Fall on Me. I'm voting for Perfect Circle.
Me too.
And John's voting for Perfect Circle. So we have a tie between Fall on Me and Perfect Circle.
Right. That's
Right.
what it
So-
sounds like.
It's our Rockville friend that picks one of those two.
There you go.
I didn't have either of them ever, so I'm gonna vote for Rockville. Fuck y'all. I abstain.
very
I
good.
abstain.
Does anybody have a dartboard?
I know, right?
Yeah.
A coin flip.
I mean,
3-sided coin.
again, it's just it's brutal. Like,
I mean, if you want to throw wrenches and things, Perfect Circle, Fall on Me, I'd bring back Talk About the Passion, since everyone's poo-pooing Rockville. I'd bring back
here's-
Talk About the Passion just to fuck things up.
Chris is gonna bring back Radio Song just to fuck things up.
Right? Yeah. Don't
Yeah,
don't
let's
push
talk about
that button. Don't push that button.
So I'm looking at some of these songs that we have through already, okay? And I'm picturing, like, I know John's gonna say, oh, that's not a 3-song run to me, but like, you're listening to the playlist and you have Night Swimming and then Perfect Circle and then Strange Currencies, like, all play in a row. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they all kind of, there's kind
Yeah,
of
but
a
I mean,
vibe.
but here we're picking the best songs. We're not going for
Yeah.
representation. We're not going for a starter kit. You're just picking the best songs.
yeah,
Yeah.
best of the best.
The best of the best.
Like normally I would be with you, but like here,
Yeah. Because
you just pick the best song.
3 very like down songs in a row you would have there. But yeah, I mean,
But you've also got Radio Free Europe. You've got Gardening at Night.
Right.
You got Man on the Moon.
Yeah.
Like we've got the balance.
yeah.
But to me, you just pick the best one. And Perfect Circle is the best one.
Do you think we're at a
We need Justin to make a vote.
yeah,
Very,
president?
very happily.
because
cannot.
we are deadlocked on Fall on Me and Perfect Circle right now. But
Well, Chris is abstained because Rockville. So
you're right.
Rockville and Talk About the Passion. I think both of those songs are better than the other two.
yeah.
Yeah, talk about the passion we just kind of tossed aside.
Yeah.
Well, it just sounded like that's the way the conversation was going.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I pushed it aside. I mean, I can happily. You guys are the ones, duking it out here. I'll happily bring it back to life, but
I mean, those are the ones that were on my list at the beginning and on this, well, not on this one, but was Talk About the Passion in Rockville. Talk About the Passion didn't make my final 15, but I still like it better than those other two. And that's where I stand. If I get voted out, that's fine. My hurt feelings have come and gone.
I mean, Peter, again, we're looking at like best song as opposed to, rounding out your playlist, introducing somebody. Like, it's just the 10th best song of these ones remaining. Like, which one's the best? Is it still Fall on Me for you?
Yeah, I mean, that's just my opinion.
All right. I mean, I'm not, the problem is I can't move the conversation because I'm not hearing anything definitive like that. I can kind of sink my teeth.
I mean,
into.
this may be unpopular, but we could kick out Man on the Moon and put both of them in.
No.
Oh.
I'm throwing wrenches at this point.
Well, same.
Don't say that because now I'm going to think about that.
Well, same concept. You can boot out one of the 80s songs that's already in to make room for both.
Oh man.
Yeah, I mean, if we, like I said, if we like, I love the Disturbance at the Heron House is on this list, but if we take that out, then we get both Perfect Circle and Fall on Me.
That's
I know.
That's just me making more concessions, but whatever.
I'm for it.
What say you, Gavin? It sounded like you had something.
I mean, if there was there's another Die Hard for it. So yeah, I don't like that idea.
All right. All right, so it sounds like we're settled on the 9 that are in then. Like,
yeah,
shake that idea completely.
Okay.
All right, so let's look at the 3.
I would shake Country's feedback for both of those.
No.
Careful.
See?
No, we're gonna lock those in.
Even into the 90s.
Yeah, we're gonna lock those in, and then for Fall on Me versus Perfect Circle.
Well, here, let's do this. We're gonna rank from the which you think considered the one I love is out. We're leaving the other 4 in. Fall on Me, Talk About the Passion, Rockville, Perfect Circle. Which one's the 4th song, John?
The 4th out of those is Rockville.
All right. 4th song, Peter. Worst song of those 4.
Don't say worst. They're all good.
Yeah.
4th song out of those 4.
The least. Yeah.
Fall on Me, Passion, Rockville, Perfect Circle, Peter.
Passed out.
No, I said Rockville.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Sorry, didn't hear you. All right. Same question to you, Gavin.
Talk About the Passion,
All right.
which I love.
Oh yeah, I mean, you're dealing with, if you're on a ranking scale, you're dealing with like 9.99 versus 9.98 at this point.
Right. Right.
Crazy.
When
Yeah.
you think about this conversation, yeah, that's what you're dealing with. Chris.
Yeah, what were they? Perfect Circle, Passion, Fall on Me, and Rockville?
Yeah.
Perfect Circle.
All right. And Brian.
Rockville. Well, I thought Rockville was already out.
No, I
would
It's
say-
out. It's out now.
We're doing ranked choice voting.
None of this is fun for us, by the way.
Why do you think I won't do a championship edition?
We're gonna get you in on pumpkins. You just watch.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, it'll be whenever Machina 2, whenever Zeitgeist and Tiergarten actually come back whenever they come back to streaming, I'll consider it. All right. So, unfortunately for again, when you look at this, really you're looking at like the 13th ranked R.E.M. song. I mean,
yeah, that's nothing to be sad about.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I guess this is the way we're gonna have to do it because we've made 0 concessions. So we're gonna just do ranked again. Third, Fall on Me, Talk About the Passion, and Perfect Circle. John.
This is like cutting out a piece of your heart, Jesus. Third is Talk About the Passion, and then I'm gonna go hide in the corner.
All right, Peter.
Perfect Circle.
All right. Gavin.
Fall on Me.
This one's a little bit more split. Of those three, Chris? Which one's
I gotta go Fall on Me.
All right. And Brian.
Talk About Passion.
All right, so there's 2 ways to look at this. 2 of the 3 songs got 2 votes, and one of them only got 1. We can suffer through another round of that, or accept.
I'll bow out. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, accept that Perfect Circle is the 10th song. Because, I mean, again, Fall on Me got 2 votes. Talk About the Passion got 2 votes. So, it's not exactly definitive. It's not exactly scientific, but boy, did we do the work.
Yeah.
All right, so let's.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'd be happy either way, but I think it's fine.
So we're going
Perfect Circle.
We're going to accept Perfect Circle as our 10th song, and let's.
Wow, John brought that back from a 2. That's incredible.
This is what he does. He's a professional.
He said at the beginning, he's like, don't count it out.
Country Feedback was a 2 also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're goddamn right it was.
All right, hold on. I'll run down this list. There's all these X's everywhere because we did this very, very different than usual. All right, Radio Free Europe, South Central Rain, Gardening at Night, Disturbance at the Heron House, Night Swimming, Losing My Religion, Man on the Moon, Country Feedback, Strange Currencies, Perfect Circle. A little bloody, John, but we got there.
Yeah, that's a really good list. Like that is, I can't find something wrong with it.
You get some hits here, Peter. You get your Man on the Moon, you get your Losing My Religion, but like, it's not like they were concessions. They had to fight to get in, but also it makes sense, right?
I mean, like, Losing My Religion, like, it's their biggest song, but like, it is for a reason. It's transcendent. It's just great. Like, to me, it doesn't matter that it was a huge hit.
Yeah. Ultimately, Gavin, you have some greatest hits here, and as Peter just pointed out, probably the greatest hit. But you kind of dip your toes into a lot of everything. I mean, how's it look for you?
Yeah, we got some unexpected ones in there. I would count Strange Currencies in there as an unexpected one. I didn't see that coming, and that's cool. Yeah, so I'm happy with it. It's great. I liked. It helped my brain figure out to split it like that. I think
that was good.
It's fair. You know what I mean? It keeps everybody like reasonably miserable. So that's good. So yeah.
Speaking of reasonably miserable, Chris, I mean, unfortunately, you went through it again with Rockville. But I mean, again, you look at these 10 songs, like, ultimately, we still did good work, yeah?
What were the 10? Did Disturbance at Harry House, did that make it?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. No, I'm cool then. I'm cool. I'll take that as a win. I'll take bringing that back as a 3
Yeah, there you go.
to the list. I'll
Yeah,
take
yeah.
that. I'll take that because that's a great fucking song.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't have seen that coming at the beginning of this. Brian, I mean, you look at this 10, like, again, we had to put in work to get there, but that's a list.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm gonna listen to this list like immediately. Oh, this is a great list. Like I'm happy with this. Like I was surprised that, songs like, talk about the passion, crush, or things like that kind of like went to the wayside, but like, you know, Fall on Me losing to a 2 at the end there, that was, I mean, I didn't see that coming either. I thought Fall on Me was going to be like a 5.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, this hits me with like my favorite 80s songs and 90s songs, and I would have liked to see a little more from Document, but we got one in there at least, so good.
But like, look at the stuff that got thrown in the bin. Like the stuff that only got once: Be Mine, Driver 8, Drive, What's Frequency,
Yeah.
Kenneth, World Leader, Pretend, Everybody Hurts, Cuyahoga, Wolves Lower, Pilgrimage.
Yeah.
Like these are the best 40 REM songs. Is nothing to shake at. Like
Right.
they have more than 40 great songs. We just had to you just have to suffer to get down to it. But like you could make a great 10 out of the ones that only got one vote on this. Like it just shows how deep and how strong their catalog is, top to bottom.
Yeah.
My only regret is I couldn't get Kate Pearson on the list.
Yeah. We'll do the B-52s someday.
I mean,
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, God, don't do that to me.
But no, if you ever come to Athens, hit me up. We'll do the REM tour
Absolutely.
Yeah.
so let's get some final
and
thoughts.
show you all the spots.
Let's do some final thoughts here, John, on REM Championship Edition just in total.
Oof.
I mean, like all of it, considering the 4 rounds leading
Yeah.
here and then this. Like ultimately, how do you? I mean, again, we came out with a great list. Ultimately, how do you feel about the process?
It was excruciatingly painful, and like I think I might have mentioned this at the beginning. If not, like REM in the last few years has worked their way up into being one of my top 5, favorite bands of all time. And I probably couldn't say that 10 years ago, but the more you listen to them, the more you get rewarded, the more stuff there is to always be digging. Like I'm going to be 47 this year. I'm still getting stuff out of their catalog, and like I can't say that for every band that I listen to. And I'm looking at the 10, like I would not have predicted some of these songs would have been on there at the beginning, but I mean, that's why you do it. I mean, that's why you get, the super fans that we are, and you have to get through it. And like, I'm just hoping they don't reunite and put out another album, because we'll have to do it again.
Count me out.
Yeah. Peter, this is the second championship edition you've done, and we kind of were bandying about, doing more. And you were like, yeah, man, I'm in. Like, now that you've gone through the second one, are you still of that mindset? Do you still have the fight for something like this? And how did you feel about this whole thing?
It's a good kind of pain. I like the discussion. I like the focus on filling out like what other people's favorite songs are by them and what they consider their best. And yeah, I mean, I'm totally down to do this for another band. It's fun. It's just as fun as a regular deprogrammed episode.
Gavin, your first championship edition, you get through it. It felt like you didn't mind putting up a wall on some of the songs sometimes. I mean, did that help you in the overall scheme again, like looking at the entire R.E.M. championship edition? Like, how do you feel like it went for you?
Yeah, it's hard because, you know, when you put up a wall in the championship edition, you're really like, you're, I mean, you're basically saying like, I don't care about this song that means everything to you. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? That
Yeah.
like you listen to with your first girlfriend or whatever. You know what I mean? Like you
Mm.
have some history, and you're discounting someone's history when you're blocking these songs. You know, I liked it because it was so immersive, and because of what Peter said, like listening to other people talk about why the songs are their favorites, and this was a fighting crew, man. Nobody really went down easy, and yeah, it was really fun. I liked just doing a total deep dive and surprising myself, you know,
Yeah.
and like and surprising myself with things that moved me that I forgot about or didn't think moved me the first time around, you know.
Chris, you are inarguably had the most heartbreak here uh through the entire thing. Does that shake you off doing another championship edition,
No, I
or
mean, depending on the band, I could absolutely do it. But
Sparks.
yeah, I would do Sparks in a fucking heartbeat.
Ah,
I, um, I would do Sparks in a heartbeat. That would be long.
yeah.
They have so much music. You guys have no idea. Well, some of you might have an idea, but they have so many records.
Yeah.
That would take like a year to do Sparks. They have so much music, and they keep putting out more. They're coming out with a new record
It's ridiculous.
this summer.
It's ridiculous.
They're
You could
like
just-
in their they're pushing 80 and they're putting out a new fucking record and going on tour. So don't get me started on Sparks. We need to do like that would be like an after the fact. But anyways, yeah, I mean, you guys have no idea. I almost quit. I
Yeah.
almost quit after Radio Song. I texted with Jenny. I talked to her about it. I talked to my wife about it. I almost quit over that fucking song. That's how painful that was.
Mm.
But you know what? I pushed through. I got through it. So I almost fucking quit though. I lost sleep over that shit. You guys have no fucking idea. Oh my god, that hurt. That hurt so much.
It's-
Probably more than almost any deprogrammed. That
Yeah.
hurt so much.
I mean, it's energy, it's passion, Brian. Like, again, when you're looking at this whole thing, the whole championship edition, picture, is it firstly, I guess, is that something you'd be willing to go through again? And secondly, like, how did it feel like going through it and getting here and the entire process?
Yeah, I would definitely go through it again. I mean, it was painful, but at the same time, like, kind of like what John was saying, like over the past, like, probably since their music became more accessible to me because there's like streaming and stuff. 'Cause I don't have like all their physical CDs. Like I only had a handful of CDs when I was a kid. So like over the past couple of years, like R.E.M's become one of my most listened to bands. Like I'm looking at my like Spotify stats right now, and they're like strangely right between Megadeth and Soundgarden. But like I would definitely do it, do it again. It was like a good hurt. It was rough. It was a slog, especially at the end and during the stalemate.
Yeah.
And it was good to do, one of those like, top 10 bands that I missed out doing during like on the regular show because I wasn't around back when a lot of these 90s bands, I'm calling R.E.M a 90s band, but because that's why I grew up with them. But like I missed out on doing a lot of those bands So it felt good to, be able to like, talk to talk about R.E.M, with, guys who I've done, I've done a lot of shows with Peter and Chris, and I only did one other one with John. This is my friend Gavin. It's good to, spend a couple days, talking about music.
Yeah. Well, look, one of these days I'll do it, but in the meantime, I won't. I don't see the as mentioned earlier, I don't see the Pumpkins one coming up anytime soon. But let me know how you guys feel about Championship Edition. Everybody here kind of got involved because they heard some of the old ones. Let me know if you're listening to this, how you feel about the Championship Edition format, if that's something you'd like to hear more of. My hope is to do 3 a year. I also know that's not at this point attainable, but if everybody likes it enough, we might be able to squeeze another one in this year, later in the year. So let me know how you feel about it. In the meantime, hit that subscribe button, would appreciate it, and we will talk to you all soon. It was Deprogram Championship Edition. Thanks for listening, everybody.